Resuming right off the last video where we covered for loops, let's just see how ifs work. Okay, so let's put all of this stuff. Should we delete it? Okay, yeah, let's just go ahead and delete all of this. And let's do if. And as you may have maybe guessed, it's very similar. Here, I'll actually take back the for just to show the similarity between the two. So we'll do if and then endif. As you can see, end for becomes endif and for becomes if. That's really the difference. So now what we can do is, for example, if some condition. So if users, then there are users. Okay. So it should say there are users because users exists. Why? Because, well, we're giving users, so it's not empty. But if we had put this as none, it would not say that. Oh, not object is not iterate. Oh, yeah, my bad, because it's trying to iterate with the for loop. So if we delete this, it should not say there are users. However, if we were to put this again, the list, it says there are users. So the if condition kind of, it checks if something is true or not. So for example, if if we were to pass list them equals false, okay. And I'm not re-explaining this because I think from previous videos, hopefully this is clear. If list them, okay, so you can also directly use, currently it's false, but if list them was true, let's take a look. If list them, there are users. So when we tweak from the Python this variable that we're passing in, list them, we're checking in the HTML template if list them, meaning if list them is true or if list them is false, then there are users. They can also do this as we would with an integer. List them equals 5, okay? Let's say if list them is greater than 4, then it should say there are users. But if it's greater than 6, should say there are. It should not say anything. Okay, that's great and all. But how do we do an else? Well, literally, you just do it like this. There are no users. And now we can now inform that there are no users, right? You can also do else if. Okay. Else if list them is greater than, is less than, sorry, what do we do here? List them is greater than 6. Okay, so else if is less than 5. So basically, end of statement. Elif, my bad, not else if. There are less than 5. Else, okay, let's make this a little bit better. So list them is greater than 10. There are more than 10 users, let's say. Let's say this is the quantity. And if list them is less than 10. And then there are less than 10. And else there are exactly 10. Okay, this will be just a little easier to follow logically. So it says there are less than 10 users. If we change this to become 10, it says there are exactly 10. Why? Because it goes to the first if condition. It says if list them is greater than 10. What's list them right now? 10. Is 10 greater than 10? Nope. So it bypasses this. Else if list them is less than 10. Is 10 less than 10? Nope. It's equal to. If we had done it like this, then it would say, my bad. Then it would say less than 10 because it's the first condition that's satisfied that it's looking for. However, since we're looking for less than 10 and 10 is not less than 10, it bypasses this as well. The only other thing is else. If we hadn't put this here, it would output nothing, right? Because it's here, there's exactly 10 is what we get. So this is in a nutshell how we do if conditions. Let's go ahead and take this and let's put it inside of our for loop. Okay, let's toss it in our for loop and let's say Okay, I'm just gonna make it a little easier to read here. So we're gonna do an if, and we're gonna say if in our user for users parts, we're gonna take out this other thing. So we have Meho, Tim, Susan, Mary, and Ahmed, right? So we're gonna say if user equals Meho, I'll just type that's me. And user, okay, let's go ahead and run this again. List item is not defined. We also have to remove it from here. And now once we refresh, we can see it says if user equals Meho. Since that's the first user, it says that's me and ends the if. Okay, so I'll make it a little more easy to understand here. I'll also remove the loop.index since we don't need it. So what it's doing here is it's going in a for loop for each of the users, and it's checking if the user's Meho, it should say that's me. Maybe we can also do this as Tim, right? So now it'll toss the ball to Tim and say that's me for Tim. We can add this after the user, it should show Tim, that's me. See? We can also add, inside of here, we can also add this as an h1 to spice things up. There you go. That becomes an h1. So in a nutshell, this is how if conditions work, and you can use them in many places. They come up pretty much almost the most when it comes to conditionals, or when it comes to this type of percentage stuff. You use a lot of ifs, I think, and a lot of for loops as well. Those two come up a lot. So in this video series, I'm trying to prioritize things that are kind of the building blocks and the most important stuff, and down the road I could get to things that are a little bit more either boring topics or more detailed topics, diving specifically into something. For now, this is just more or less a fun little video and fun little things that we're doing to add basic functionality to our Flask web app. And there we go. I just had to style that a little bit better. Okay, in any case, I thank you again for watching this video, and I hope that you were able to benefit. And I'll see you again in the next one. Peace.